What is going on? This is Miguel. I'm revisiting some old workouts from my old notebooks here. So you're randomly going to pick one each week and we'll see how this goes. So, first things first here, you want to kind of work on that warm up. So, we want to hinge here. Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. So, what we want to do here is bend at the waist, kind of keeping that shoulder in line with the hips here. You're going to fold forward, just kind of like you're going for a toe touch stretch. We'll go reach that point till you feel that stretch in your hamstrings, and you're going to press yourself back up to a nice tall standing position here. So the key here is that you maintain that nice upright posture, kind of sink your hips back until you get that deep stretch in your hamstrings. And then we'll continue this on for about 10 to 12 repetitions. Again, I'm inhaling as I come down as far as I can comfortably while I maintain that upright posture. Exhale as I come up, and then contract those glutes at the top of the movement. And we'll do about 3 more. Again, control that descent on the way down. I have my knees bent slightly and my feet are going to be hip width apart. 2 and 1. We're going to grab the lighter band here. We're going to stand in a nice tall standing position here. Feet a little bit more narrow. Going to stand up. So again, here's going to be a common theme throughout this workout. Going to keep your shoulders in line with those hips. Nice tall upright posture. I'm going to take the band, put it right in front of me about chest high. I want to draw my arms out and squeeze my shoulders, my shoulder blades together as I pull that band apart. Now it's important here that you maintain. You want to tuck that pelvis forward. You want to keep a nice contraction in that abdominal area. Keep it nice and stabilized as you move that band down and back. So notice I'm bringing the band across the chest, almost like I'm stretching it across my chest there. I want to keep my hands slightly below my shoulder there and draw the arms down and back. So I'll kind of show you here, kind of keeping the shoulders down and back. I want to draw the shoulders back, contract, and then control it on the way back as well. So again, I'm going nice and controlled pace here. The slower the better. You want to almost pause at the very end of that movement. Again, I have my knees slightly bent, and I want to keep that core activated throughout this movement here. Again, we're going to go for about 10 to 12 repetitions here. 3 and 2 and 1. Give myself some space on the mat here. So what I want to do is a combination of 2 things here. So I want to work my way down to the ground here. So what I want to do here is go chest to the floor. I want to start from that position. Now from here, I want to keep my spine nice and straight here. Keep my legs nice and contracted. Squeeze the glutes. I want to bring my thumbs right to about my chest or nipple line there. Squeeze the elbows in a little bit. I want to release the hands. Press through the floor. Drive myself upward into a high plank position. From this position here, I want to sink back into a downward dog and then return back into that high plank position. And then we'll lower ourselves down slowly into the ground. Again, you have an option here to press yourself up into a kneeling position. And if you want to segment it and extend those legs from there and then shoot yourself back into that downward dog, you can do that from there. And then we can return the knees back down and then lower yourself into the ground. Which one of those you choose, you want to go for about 8 to 10 repetitions. And I'm going to continue on here. Control the movement. Fire up that core. Get those arms and shoulders nice and warmed up. Getting them prepared for what lies ahead. Again, I want to inhale before I press myself up. And then big exhale as I go for that push-up. And then take that second and drive your hips back. Drop the heels down a little bit. You can even pedal those feet a bit as well. Again, return yourself back to the center and then slowly lower yourself all the way down. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm warmed up. So I'm ready for some action. So grab some water and let's get ready to lift some weights. All right, we are back again. Now we're going to work on the strength portion of today's workout. So what that entails is 3 different movements here. I'm going to show you each one, break it down, and then I'll show you some variations as well. So you have 2 options to choose from. Very first exercise, we're going to do a banded push-up. So this is a more advanced version of a push-up. So what we want to do here is bring that band, and this is my heavier resistance band. You can use a lighter one as well. I have the heavy resistance here for myself. If you have several bands you can use. We're going to press this right up under the armpit. So hopefully nobody else is using this today because this thing is going to get nice and snug. So right up under the chest. So I got a little bit of tension. So, and from this position, we'll perform our normal push-up position. So we'll get into that high plank or push-up position. I want to drive my palms into the floor. So I have that already from this tabletop position. I have some tension going on right here. So from here, I want to step back both feet, move up a little bit, step back both feet, and I'll perform my push-ups as I normally would. Control that descent on the way down, press myself up and hold it, taking that second there to feel that contraction and that extra resistance from the band. Again, going from 8 to 10 reps on this one, controlling the movement, squeezing at the top. Now, got a little bit of a variation of this movement. So if you're on the opposite end where we're working on performing those push-ups, you can utilize the same band we use to make it more advanced and kind of add more of an assistance element to it. So what I want to do here is take that band and kind of fold it up in half here, kind of make a little circle out of it. So from here, I want to bring that into my arms, the outsides of my arms. So I want to kind of bring it as close to the chest as possible. So what this is going to do is give you some counter resistance here. So as I'm pressing up through the floor, I'll get a little bit of help along the way. All right, next exercise on the band, we're going to do a bench row with the resistance band. So what we want to do is stand on the band. Feet are going to be a hip width apart. You want a resistance where you want to do anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. And those last few repetitions are going to be relatively difficult to get. Gives you something to work on. It's those last few reps that count. So from this position, we want to return back into that hinge. So just like we warmed up with, you want to hinge at your hips, shoot the hips back. From here, I want to kind of reach for the opposite side of the band. So I'm kind of making an X with the band itself. It's going to give me a little bit of resistance and allow me the opportunity to draw the elbows back a little further. Again, I'm squeezing those shoulder blades, pulling down and back, and then controlling the descent on the way down. Now it's important that I maintain that hinge position back. And again, shoulders, hips are all in alignment here as I go for these bent rows, going from 8 to 12 repetitions and contracting a scapula in between each and every row. You want to pull and about 2 or 3 seconds on the descent. Nice and controlled. Drawing the elbows in back toward the ribs. You want to try to get those elbows past the torso a bit. Squeeze and control it down. You want to shoot for each one of those exercises for about 3 sets of anywhere between 8 and 12 repetitions. If you want to get that 4th set in there, even better. Allow yourself to rest in between each one of those sets. If you want to challenge your cardio a little bit more, you can do them in circuit, one exercise after the other, and you save the rest about 1 to 2 minutes at the end of each circuit.